Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we dissect the documents that companies don't want you to read. Today we're diving into an amendment to a report from SSR Mining. It involves a mine acquisition, so we'll see if they struck gold or dug themselves into a hole. SSR Mining just bought a gold mine called Cripple Creek and Victor or CC and V from Newmont. This report updates a previous one to include the financial details of that mine. We're going to look at whether this purchase looks like a smart investment for SSR Mining. Before we start, if you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below where you can discuss these filings with other investors. The original report came out around the end of February of 2025, but this amendment adds some key information. The important point here is that SSR Mining completed the acquisition, that is the purchase, of the Cripple Creek and Victor gold mine on that day. Why are they filing an amendment? Well, it's because they need to include the financial statements of the mine they just bought, CC&V, and also some pro forma financial information. Pro forma means as if, in this case, it's as if SSR Mining had owned the mine for the entire year, so we can get an idea of how it impacts their overall financials. Now, onto the good stuff, the financials. We're looking for the audited financial statements, that is, the financial statements that have been checked by outside accountants of Cripple Creek and Victor. This is going to give us a clear picture of how profitable this mine actually is. This part of the report lists the financial statements and exhibits included in this amendment. These are basically the documents that contain all the numbers we need to analyze. Here they are, the financial statements of Cripple Creek and Victor for 2024 and 2023. Let's dive into these and see what we can find. Okay, let's start with the income statement, also known as the statements of operations, which shows the mine's revenues, cost, and profits. In 2024, CC&V had net gold sales of about $458.8 million. That means that after all deductions, they made almost from selling gold. In 2023, it was roughly $409 million. From selling gold, in 2023, it was roughly $409 million. So gold sales increased by about $50 million, or about 12% from 2023 to 2024. This is pretty good. It indicates that they sold more gold, that the price of gold went up, or maybe a bit of both. Next, production costs. This is how much it costs to actually dig up and process the gold. In 2024, production costs were around $304 million. In 2023, they were roughly $267 million. Production costs increased around $30 and dollars and costed SNC. This is a bit concerning because costs are increasing faster than revenue. That means they might become less efficient. Another important cost is depreciation, depletion, and amortization, which accounts for the wearing out of equipment and the using up of mineral reserves. In 2024, this was about $65 million, and in 2023, it was about $65 million. And in 2023, it was about $65 million. Now let's check the balance sheets, which show what the company owns assets and what it owes liabilities. Total current assets, which are assets that can be turned into cash within a year, were about $127 million at the end of 24. At the end of 23, they were about $115 million. That's a good sign. The mine had more liquid assets at the end of 2024. Total current liabilities, which are debts due within a year, were about $21 million at the end of 2024. At the end of 2023, they were up $24 million. This also looks good because current liabilities went down, meaning they owe less short term. Finally, let's look at the pro forma information, which gives us an idea of how SSR Mining would have looked if it had owned CC&V for all of 2024. The pro forma condensed combined statement of operations is designed to show what the financials would look like combined. We only have this for the year ended December 31, 2024. The pro forma net gold sales are listed as about $1.77 billion. This is the combined revenue of SSR Mining and CC&V. This gives us an idea of the total revenue power of the combined company. The pro forma net income, which is profit after all expenses, is about $238 million. This is what's left over for the company after paying all the bills. This tells us the combined company would have been profitable in 2024. Now, looking at these numbers, the acquisition of Cripple Creek and Victor looks like a reasonable move for SSR Mining. The mine is profitable with decent revenue and manageable costs. The pro forma numbers show that it will add significantly to SSR Mining's overall revenue and profit. However, there are always risks. Production costs are rising faster than revenue, which could squeeze profits in the future. SSR Mining needs to manage those costs carefully to make sure this acquisition pays off in the long run. They will also need to successfully integrate the mine into their existing operations, which can sometimes be challenging. Overall, the purchase of Cripple Creek and Victor seems like a solid, if not spectacular, move for SSR Mining. It diversifies their assets, adds to their revenue, and should contribute to their bottom line as long as they can keep costs under control. Alright, that's our breakdown of SSR Mining's latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.